If you've been in Oklahoma over the past decade, you've probably noticed a big drop-off in the number of earthquakes that you feel. Well, that's not necessarily a coincidence, but earthquakes are actually happening all the time beneath our feet, thanks to Oklahoma fault lines, but most of which are only detectable by seismographs. Well, let's talk about the numbers as they have changed drastically since our peak of earthquakes back 10 years ago in 2015. That year, we had a whopping 887 earthquakes that registered a 3.0 magnitude or above. Since then, there has been a sharp decline, some of which have said because of regulations surrounding man-made wastewater injection wells and things like that, we have seen the drop-off perhaps in relation or at least correlated to that drop. Now, if we jump to 2017, you'll notice that it dropped by more than threefold. Jumping ahead to 2019, that number dropped to just 57 earthquakes here in the state of Oklahoma, at least at a 3.0 or above. Jumping forward another couple of years, we halved that number. And then as we moved to just 2 years ago, we had a mere 16 earthquakes that were 3.0 or above. Well, what about this year? So far, for only being halfway through the year, we have had a whopping 2. That is it that have occurred here in the state of Oklahoma, the strongest of which was only a 3.2 magnitude earthquake that occurred near the community of Pawnee. Not even enough to really feel by most residents because it was at an 11-kilometer depth, so a little deeper than most of us would feel at that strength. But let's talk about earthquakes that we do feel, because we had to just go back less than a year ago for an earthquake that would have been felt in the state, northwest Oklahoma, Waynoka, with that tidal holding a 3.6 magnitude or above, the last 3.5 or above in the state. That one was likely felt in a small area, but one many of us remember being rattled awake late one evening back in February of 2024, thanks to a 5.1 magnitude that occurred near the town of Prague. Well, that was the last one that many of us felt, but the strongest of which was a 5.8 magnitude, strongest in state history, that occurred in 2016. If you were here then, you likely remember it. It caused localized damage in Pawnee and around Green Country and well beyond. Many of us were rattled by that one. That type of earthquake can still happen, but due to the trends downward in frequency of earthquakes, hopefully that will not be one we see for a very long time.